Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. 11 games in the NBA on Wednesday night, so plenty to choose from. After just 4 games on Tuesday, I'm going to be running through best bets and player prop projections for the games I could get through tonight. Still going to have more tomorrow on the live stream show at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, as we do every weekday. Nice little night here that we had on Tuesday. Just one play that I gave out for a straight. Hit that one for a Kuminga under 25.5 PR. Also looking at a really nice night on Monday, 5-1 there on the plays, all straight plays there, and made about 3.5 units there. So we're going to look to keep it going here, up more than 7 units on the season so far. If that all sounds good to you, give that video a like. Let's get right into it. As we jump into one of my favorite plays of the night, do want to remind you, if you don't want to miss a bet, you want every single play that I'm making at the number that I'm betting it on, go ahead and jump in the description of the video. There is a link to the WAP.com account, gets you into the VIP Discord. Got a nice little season pass for the NBA going right now, 40% off if you do want to get all those plays. But let's get right into RJ Barrett, man. I think he's in for a big night because nobody's playing for Toronto. We've got IQ out. Scotty Barnes is now out. Kelly Olynyk's been out. Bruce Brown has been out. That would be 4 of their starters alongside of RJ Barrett. And now he's going to be the only guy out there. He's going to be playing alongside Grady Dick, as well as some other backups. Agbaji's going to be out there, Davion Mitchell, and then Jakob Poeltl, who would actually probably be in there over Olynyk, as the starting center. But you get my point here. RJ is going to be out there as the main ball handler and the dude who's expected to put up a ton of shots. I got him at about 23 to 25 attempts in this situation. He just put up 23 with Scotty Barnes out there. Now it's just going to be the RJ show. The Hornets, bottom 10 defense, actually been playing a little bit slower than normal. We'll see if that speeds up or not. I mean, LaMelo's out there. I would expect it to continue to speed up for them under new coach Charles Lee. Either way, the Raptors are going to push the tempo. They're playing at the 9th fastest pace, and that is going to continue as well. They've been doing that without IQ, to be honest with you. So they do rely on transition a lot. Poeltl's done a great job around the rim. Should be finding RJ on some kickouts, but either way, this man's just going to take the bulk of the shots for this team. I think this is a laterable play, 25, 30-plus points, possibly in the cards here for RJ. Insert Dick joke here. Let's get into some Grady Dick stuff, and I got to say, same concept for Grady Dick. I think points are going to be the play for him here. The shots continue to go up for him. He's playing a bottom 5 defense in Charlotte. Once again, we know about all the injuries. And one of the things too for Charlotte that we've already seen on the young season is they're not fighting around screens. They're not getting out on spot up shooters quite as well. They've limited spot ups as it is, but when it comes to open shooters right now, they're giving up a good amount of open shots. And like I said, just lazy getting around the screen. So once again, Dick is going to be playing 30 to 35 minutes as well. RJ Barrett's going to play as many minutes as he damn well pleases. For sure about 35 in that one, and be taking more of the shots. But if Grady Dick is at about 13 to 15 shots, he's only at about 15.5 points. I think that's a good over for him as he continues to get more involved in this offense, and there's nobody else playing for this team. I'll also say, I didn't put this up yet, but Ochai Agbaji, really good player, really big athlete who can shoot the thing. He still has been having, he's at about 10.5 points. I don't mind that, but I'm staying away from it because of the fact that he's been shooting a little bit too lights out as well. I don't like when a guy's been hot. He's been shooting way better than his career averages in the 3 games that he's played this season. He's gone over in all 3, but he's more of a fade candidate in this game. Even at 10.5 points, it's not a guy that I'm necessarily trusting with the amount of the high field goal percentage that he's been hitting up to this point. Jumping into that Celtics game, kind of need to go at least talk about Peyton Pritchard once again. We've hit him 3 times. We took the under when he went under. We took the overs when he went over. I think we got to go back to over. I know that Sam Hauser is back, but I think we've just got to insert Peyton Pritchard in there 25 minutes a game without fail at this point, even when they have their full complement. When KP comes back, Porzingis, then we'll talk about it. But for now, without Kristaps, I don't care if Hauser's in or not. I still like an over for Peyton Pritchard. His shooting splits are unsustainable. I will say that. I mean, he had the one bad game in the first game, and the last 2 has been beyond lights out. He's not going to be shooting 8 for 12 from deep very often, right? He just was super hot in that last game versus the Bucks, and they just kept feeding him. He does have good numbers versus Indy, though. So with that, regardless of if he's playing in the playoffs or in the regular season last year, he played well versus the Pacers. Makes sense. I mean, he's got the ball in his hands when he's out there in the second unit. He's also out there in the corner right now doing really good things from there. So I think he's going to continue to be found as one of their best 3-point shooters and the guy that they're going to rely on in the second unit. So the minutes, the volume will probably still be there for Peyton Pritchard. One more from this game. We took Haliburton on Monday night to get over 16.5 points. That was too low of a line. It's just simple as that. That's why we took it in a decent matchup against Orlando, who is a very good defensive team, but gives up stuff to the sort of pick and roll ball handler shooter. And playmaker, well, that's also a similar way that Boston plays defense. They have a similar defense to Orlando in terms of high ball pressure, not needing and switching a lot of stuff because of having big athletic wings. I kind of like an under for Tyrese in this point. It's at 18.5 as I'm recording this on the Tuesday night. It is. But if this gets up to 19.5, I'm going to be playing an under for him against this Celtics backcourt. He went under versus all three of them. I'll say the minutes were off a little bit in those games. There was 2 games that he was sort of coming back from injury, but he hasn't really looked like himself since the injury. And if you look at him in a situation where he's playing 32 to 36 minutes, which is the projection for this game on Wednesday night, last season when he played a top 10 defense according to rating and played 32 to 36 minutes, under in 7 of 10 games. So, there's some obvious examples here for why Tyrese is not going to do as well against Boston if you have him at the projections for the minutes that I do. Lakers, Cavs, a couple injuries that we got to watch out for. First of all, Max Strus is already out. We know that still. D'Lo is questionable. That's going to impact things a little bit, but I think Darius Garland is a good play as one of my favorite bets that I've already made a number of times this season. Over on the points, under on the assists for him against the Lake Show. The assist isn't really about how well the Lakers are playing defense. It's not actually that well. They're 20th in the league in defensive rating. They are giving up the 19th, 10th most, 11th most assists in the league right now. But this is not how the Cavs are playing offense. It's still a lot of your turn, my turn with Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. And even though Darius Garland is a little bit higher up on the potential assists and the assists per game over Donovan this season, he's only at 9. And this is at 6.5 for his assist prop. So I really like the under. Getting 7 assists on 9 potential assists, not very likely. I always say it's about 55% of your potential assists should turn into regular assists, not 7 out of 9, right? That's not going to be a percentage that's very beatable very often. So with Max Strus out, I do also like the fact that means more shots for Mitchell and Garland. And I think this play applies to Mitchell, by the way, as well. I still like him for points and not necessarily assists. But this defense above the break for the Lakers is not good, but plain and simple. Like, Austin Reeves is not going to be able to hang with Donovan Mitchell if that's his guard. And then Darius Garland, what he's going to get guarded by D'Angelo Russell. Max Christie, better defender, so he might come in and give some minutes that would be helpful. But if D'Lo is healthy, this is even better of a bet, to be honest, than without him. But even with him, I still like it. And the last thing I have there is that Cleveland scores the 10th highest percentage of their points off of UFGA, so unassisted field goal attempts. So most of their shots that they're making are on unassisted field goals as opposed to them passing the ball around the horn and finding the open guy. This is a team that relies on one-on-one breaking people down and then finding those bigs down low. And I expect that to continue here. I like points for both Garland and Mitchell, and I like the under on the assists a lot for both of them, and especially Garland at a high number like 6.5. One more look at the point god, because we took an under for him on the PRA in this last game versus Houston, and it hit. And you can say it barely hit. Somebody had some smart dude had a comment on the video that was like, he almost hit it. 2 things. 1, he didn't. So I won the bet. This is a binary situation. He hit it or he didn't. If he didn't, then I win. The other thing is he had 20 PRA. 4 of those points came off of a 4-point play. I mean, give me an absolute break. Like, the dude should have been at about 10 to 12 points. Give him credit. He had a couple good quarters in the second and the fourth where he played lights out. But that's the other thing here. We can bank on him not playing more than 28 to 29 minutes. That's perfect. It happened tonight with Jonathan Kuminga in the under. Part of the reason for the under, big part, was the minutes. He was steaming. He had 20 PR with about 6 minutes left in the game. Then he came out because these rotations are set. For Kuminga, it was set. For Chris Paul, it's also set. He's not getting the 30 minutes that he had at one point in his career. So we know that he's going to be, we can at least rely on him not having the same level of volume. The other thing about the way this OKC team plays defense, they force the ball out of the point guard's hands. They force it into the corners. They give up the most corner threes. But that's not where Chris Paul is playing. He's at the top. All his stuff comes from above the break. So I love the ball pressure that they're going to be able to put on him with those guards back there and to take it out of his hands. Once you disrupt that, then the Spurs are not nearly as effective. And I think that'll be the prerogative for OKC in this one. Quick reminder about outlier.bet, y'all. If you do want to use the best stats research tool around to make sure you're getting all the best bets you can find and all the value available, outlier.bet, it is a wonderful site. Got a link in the description of the video for 7 free days to see if you like it. And then you can go ahead and think about purchasing. But that's all the time I have for you guys right now. Make sure you do tune in for the live show, 5:30 p.m. Eastern every single day. Bring your bets. Jump in the comments. We'll go over that stuff together. Until I see y'all next, happy betting.